Hello my beautiful souls and welcome to my tarot channel. If you're new here, my name is Jem, and in today's pick a card reading we're going to be discussing what your video game character would be like, what would they look like, what their characteristics are. Today's video is going to be very different, very unique, and I'm really excited to film. I like to, put my little creative touch on things. So this is going to be a Pinterest board only. There's going to be like one or two cards that are going to be pulled. But if you guys don't like Pinterest board, this may not be your reading. There's tons of other readings that have tarot. So check those out. But we're going to be looking into what would your video game character be like? What would they look like? How would they act? I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm really excited to film. Let's hop into it. So, I want to let you guys know the different ways you could help me with the channel. The biggest way is by subscribing. Another way you could help is checking out my Beacon AI tab. I sell personal readings if you ever want a personal reading from me. I also have a section where there's words of affirmation shirts with each single angel number. So each one is corresponded to an affirmation, like you are abundant, you are lovable, all those different things to mirror that energy out into the universe so that you receive it. It's all about like the energy you put out. So that's like the whole idea of why I created those shirts, is because like when you pour out to others, showing them like that they're lovable, that they mean the world, it brightens their day and it mirrors that energy to you, which brightens your day. So it's about, shining bright to shine a light on everybody else around you. And that's the whole reason why I created those shirts, and I really love them. And I hope you guys are interested in them. And then I have 18 plus extended, and then Cash App, where if you guys want a tip. And the tips, every single tip that somebody donates, I buy a deck to help out the channel. If you guys want to donate to the channel, feel free to. But yeah, I'm so excited to get a ton of new decks and add a bunch of new index cards. And the more people tip, I'm going to just spend all of it on my YouTube channel. So yeah. Anyways, so these are the cards for the pile selection, and we also have the thumbnail images. So let me pull up the thumbnail images on the side so I can take a look at them. Okay, pile one. So your image is of this beautiful girl. She's got a crop top on. She's got it looks like it's either a long sleeve shirt or it's like a cover up that covers over the crop top. She has her hair in this cute little, it's like half up, half down. She has cross earrings, a bunch of studs on her ears. She's really long, beautiful lashes, luscious, beautiful lips. She also has like a little tattoo or henna or something in the center of her forehead, which makes me really think of like their third eye. There could be something significant about your third eye in this reading, pile one. And then your card is the Prophet, which makes me think of you are destined for greatness, pile one. And you may have a really strong intuition. So if that resonates with you, please pick pile one. For pile two, we have the Seer. So the Seer, what this card reminds me of is somebody who's really good at seeing through, fairy tales or lies, being able to see how people are acting, or just, you get a vibe. You could be really good at, and also have a really strong intuition as well. You could be really in tuned with seeing your future, seeing where things are going for yourself. It's really giving me, the main thing is you're able to see towards your goal. And your image is of this beautiful girl. She's got short hair. It's giving tomboy. She's got a wolf cut, and she's got her headphones on. She has a septum piercing, a bunch of piercings on her nose, tongue, lip piercing. I didn't even mean to say tongue. You could have a tongue piercing. She's really long, beautiful lashes. She has birthmarks on her face, and I think freckles. And then she has a long chain, and it looks like IMBV. That video game? I think the Pile 1 and Pile 2 are from IMBV. I used to play that game all the time. And then she's got like a butterfly on her shirt, I think. So if that resonates with you, please pick Pile 2. And then for Pile 3, we have the Raven, which is giving like dark, mysterious vibes. Maybe somebody who wears a lot of black. But your image, Pile 1, is of a close-up shot of this beautiful girl. I think it also might be IMDb too, which is so funny. She's got her glasses. She has beautiful shiny lips, tiny little nose, beautiful fluffy eyebrows. Her like, there could be something about your throat chakra. She has like these little tiny, her hair's laid beautifully, and jet black hair, and like she has a really thick chain on. So if that resonates with you, please pick Pile 3. So let's hop into Pile 1. Hello, my beautiful Pile 1s. If you chose this card as well as this image, this will be your reading on if you were a video game character, who would you be? So I'm really excited to get into this reading. Hope you guys enjoy it. I want to let you guys know the different ways you can help on my channel. You can check out my Beacon AI tab. I have different ways you could donate to the channel through Amazon wishlist or just donating from Cash App. Every single thing that is donated to me will be used on this channel. Like I will buy new decks and stuff. I also am selling Words of Affirmation t-shirts because I want the shirts to be like a reminder to you guys. The energy you put out into the world is what you receive. So like the shirts that I made are about like you are lovable, they say you are abundant, and the people that you surround yourself with will see this message, feel inspired, and that energy will be mirrored back to you. And that's the whole like idea behind those shirts. And then lastly, I have 18 plus extended in personal readings if you're looking for something like that. So let's hop into your reading, Pile 1. So the card that I got, so first we got the Prophet, and then we got the Storyteller. So what I got for you, Pile 1, is, it says, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. I think you are extremely intuitive, and your video game character would be somebody that like has a sixth sense or the ability to like see the future or see like, I think you could be like, it's giving like witch vibes. And maybe you would have like a serpent or like a snake as your side character. I think you would be somebody that's really good at storytelling. You would be able to, like, I feel like there'd be a scene in your video game where it'd be like you're sitting down by a campfire or something and you're telling like the story or the storyline or the plot of the game in this beautiful, like, dramatic, exciting way. And I think like you could be really good at telling stories or just like enticing people into listening to your stories. I'm also getting like you could be somebody who, let me read into this Prophet card real quick, and then we're gonna hop into your Pinterest because I have a whole bunch of images for you. So the Prophet here says, it's just really giving like your character is main character. It's really giving main character vibes, and you have some purpose to serve. Like the Prophet is like, is the one. The Prophet is the like destined for greatness. Like they're the one that like saves the world, or they're the one that makes a huge impact on this, you know, on the planet or in the video game. Like you could be someone who makes like a drastic like impact. Like that's your character. So let's see what we get for the Prophet. So the Prophet says, humanity has always been drawn in by symbols. Interesting. Ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. So you could be so intuitive, Pile 1. You could see a lot of angel numbers. Speaking of which, today's the 22nd. So you could be constantly seeing like angel numbers everywhere. You could be constantly seeing signs. Like from literally God or like the universe communicating to you, hey, you're doing a great job. Look, like, continue, keep going, keep thriving. You're abundant, you're beautiful. Like, you could be somebody that sees signs in everything. And what's so crazy, because this reminds me actually of today, I was traveling and I was walking in the airport, and there was a woman that was sitting, and like I happened to look at her phone, and it straight up said 555 on her phone. And then she scrolled away like right as I was passing, but I saw it. I was like, that's like, obviously she could just be like, oh, but like that number I've been seeing a lot lately, and that's about like transformation and growth. And I feel like that's like what I've been really feeling. So like for you, pile one, like I feel like that could be something similar that maybe you've experienced, or it's constantly like the right number meets you at the right time when you're going through that like life path journey. It all seems to like really fit with you. It's almost like your life was really like played out for you, and it feels so theatrical sometimes. So it says always being able to be drawn in by symbols. You could be someone that's really good at expressing yourself through symbols. So maybe you could be an artist. Like maybe your character in a video game would be somebody who has a great creative ability to storytell through not only communication, but through other creative endeavors like movies. You know how they're able to tell a story by the way they move the camera, the different frames they choose, the different colors they choose, the different numbers that are displayed. Like there's meaning in everything, and I feel like you are the type of person that could read all of these different signs and symbols. I think another thing is your character. Like your video game character would be a creator, and it would be somebody who storytells, who's able to create some sort of maybe a writer, maybe a singer. There could be some sort of creative endeavor that your video game character would do that would be their way of like storytelling. So that could be something. I also was kind of getting, maybe there's a really small amount of you, or like maybe like one person out there that maybe isn't the best with communicating. Maybe it's like they're not able to communicate, and maybe they use sign language. That could be something, a really specific message. I know. Don't take it if it doesn't resonate. Um, it also says they stick with us, creating a language of their own. Beware of high tide, skip the 13th floor, toss salt over their shoulder. You could be maybe also a little bit superstitious. The prophet knows the value of these signs. They appear subtle, whispering small curses and wounds in those who listen. The prophet knows where to look for these signs, both in external and internal worlds. She befriends the snake. She takes on her outworldly air. She is a pearl of her profound wisdom from which she can learn when you are ready to ask and receive. It says, meanings, follow the signs you are receiving, listening to your voice inside of you. I feel like your video game character, for some of you, would be like a witch. And the witch is like somebody that's able to foretell. Like you'd be like a fortune teller. I'm getting like fortune teller. Or maybe for some of you, like magician. We're gonna get into your Pinterest board in a sec because there's tons more messages with that. But I'm also getting like someone who is like the main character in the video game, and like create some sort of heavy impactful art. And like your video game would be all about telling a story, and it would be like the story of your life, and it'd have some sort of great meaning behind it. And then for some of you, it could be like you're the witch that's like telling the traveler to watch out for. They're like, watch out for this up ahead. Yeah, I don't know. I want to say more on that, but I'm like thinking. So yeah, so that's what I'm getting with that. Let's hop into your Pinterest board. Let's see if we get any more additional messages. I'm sure we will. So we got also. So this is the first character we got, and this guy's been trending. I don't even know a lot of these characters. I don't know what their names are. This is just what popped up on Pinterest. So don't be hating on me, folks. Hold on, let me turn off this other light. Okay. So this is like a new anime that I think came out, and he's like a hunk, and he's also like very cheesy. He's got these cheesy one-liners, and he's also like he's a little bit cheeky, he's a little bit flirtatious, he's also super strong, powerful. So for some of you, your video game character could be somebody who is I'm getting he's got like this crystal here, and I'm getting somebody who is very Okay, so with this one, this is his name is Dante, and he's part of the movie slash or the anime television series and a video game. It says Devil May Cry. So his character is basically what his superpowers are. Is he's able to use like demon powers, or he inherited demonic powers that he could use for weapons, and he like basically shoots guns and stuff. Maybe there could be something for some of you, like your video game character would be somebody who fights evil with like your own like witchy powers or something. It's also interesting that he has like demonic power, yet he fights demons. So there could be like a message for some of you that maybe you guys like have this you fight towards people that maybe are like you in some way. There could be something. Anyways, but your video game character could be somebody who's very attractive, somebody who is a seducer, got banter, somebody who's very powerful. He's got straight up white hair, and you know what that means in anime. And he's got this crazy long black or white, Jesus, red jacket. There could be something about the color red. Maybe your video game character would be in red, or there would be something maybe about it's also interesting that your image looks very angelic. So I think there's like a spectrum to pile one. But this is what I got. So your character could maybe look like this. Your video game character could be like a resemble this person. I'm also getting like some of your other superpowers would be like your banter, very flirtatious, and like again, very good at storytelling. So you could be good at like seducing people. There could be something about your character design that's like sexy. Another thing we got, um, for some of you, I'm getting like Peach came out for you guys. So there could be something about your character design that maybe some of you are like very sweet, like little, like your character design is very sweet, bubbly, and cute, and like a princess. Um, you could have this really cute long hair with these like fluffy pink dress and white gloves. Um, there could be something about your character being like for some of you it could be like you guys make an impact on the world by like fighting evil, and then for the other side to you it's like you guys already have like your throne and castle and palace. Like it's like your impact is ruling a town, and maybe you know riding a Mario Kart or something. Another thing I'm getting is a lot of like guns, like shooting guns. Maybe that would be what your character does, is like shoot guns. and maybe working with like weaponry. Maybe some of you like have military experience. There could be like a really small percent of you that maybe have that experience, because I kept getting like he uses guns, and in Fallout you like fight with guns, and in the game there's like radiation and stuff. And you're in like the 1970s or like the 80s or something, or the 50s. There could be something about the 50s because it's like she's got old school style dressing, so there could be something about your video game character would be like designed in like the 50s, or like maybe you were like old school like vibe. Then we got this one. This is giving me gothic energy. Like it said Evelyn from Baylor's Gate. I think I'm just gonna have to upload these photos so you guys could better see them. But with this one, she has like a tattoo on her neck. There could be something that maybe you'd be like a character that maybe has tattoos on the person, and like your tattoo like glows up when maybe you sing, or maybe whenever you're using your powers. There could be something about like the tattoo glowing and like shining and like channeling your superpower. Another thing I was getting is Laura Croft. So there could be something about, again, with like guns, maybe really being really athletic, good with a bow. Somebody who's like able to like withstand nature and live in like the jungle, or like your video game character would be somebody who could be like a hunter. Definitely getting hunter vibes. Maybe even like someone that is just very good at fending for themselves. And you also just have this like badass energy of like being like the main character, like literally like surviving, thriving, having this badass like storyline. What else am I getting? Yeah, we got the prophet and storyteller. Let's look into Laura Croft. I think her name's Laura Croft. Laura Croft. Lara Croft? This live action. Oh, wait, no. So, Lara Croft is this wealthy, fearless, and intelligent protagonist of Tomb Raider video games franchise. She's known for her relentless pursuit of ancient artifacts, secrets, and her willingness to achieve her goals at any cost. Laura is portrayed as an athlete, elegant, and fluent in multiple languages. Wow. Okay, so maybe your superpower would be your ability to speak like multiple different languages. Maybe you even have your own language, again, like how it said with the storytelling. It's like you can communicate through symbols. Like your ability to communicate is you're able to communicate in many different ways. I also like that it says like she's relentless. She has a relentless pursuit to discover, and there could be something about that. Like that would be something about your character. Would be a character that is relentless at wanting to discover something, fight a cause. Like with this one, I still need to learn more about who this guy is. But that's what I'm getting with that. And it says elegant and fluent and athletic. There could be something about maybe for some of you could be like tomb raiders. Maybe you guys are like raid tombs, or look for like artifacts, or like discover mysteries. I'm definitely getting like, again, witch vibes, like somebody who would be in like this forest or like this tomb and discovering like these Egyptian like stones and gems, different things like that. And then telling their story about it, like being like this adventurer. It's really giving adventurer too. And then this guy came up, so definitely getting like Call of Duty vibes, like Black Ops vibes, especially with all like the shooting. She has a gun, he's got a gun, I got a gun, this guy's got a gun. This guy's got a gun, he's got 2 guns, he's like, so there could be something about again being very sexy, very, very sexy, like turning a bunch of people on, people being like, oh my god, this person is so seductive. For some of you, it could be maybe your character wears a mask. Jesus, wears a mask. And there could be something about like just protecting your, you could be like CIA investigator, like some sort of like Black Ops operation where you go in, like maybe your game is about like your video game character would be somebody who is set on these missions, and like they have like this higher like authority above others where they tell them where to go or where they're going, and then you're like a leader in that. It could be something else about like taking and then telling your story about it, like being a storyteller about it, like saying like, oh yeah, I was in the Navy SEALs with a bunch of, you know, like just like telling your story about it. So, and then we got this beautiful queen. It's definitely giving like just magical being. She's like, she just floats and shit. I don't know what her name is. Somebody in the comments. I think she's from some sort of like she looks like she's from Zelda or something, or some sort of anime game. I don't know. But anyways, she's got these cute glasses. There's a city skyline behind her, and she's got her hair half up, half down. I think, which fits with the thumbnail. But I think with this, there could be something about like your character. She definitely has witchy, like a mage vibes. You could also, for some of you, it could be like you guys are a mage, and the way that you could be very mentally intelligent, and like again when it comes to like being able to, like she's got glasses, being able to see being able to like see like clearly and really well, and have like a really strong sense of intuition. I think she fights with magic. She's also like an authority figure, and she's also really sexy. So that's like the 3 main things for you, pile 1, that keeps coming out. And then we have Ellie. And Ellie's like, again, she's got these crazy stories of her own, of like adventuring, you know, she's obviously during this whole zombie apocalypse, and she's got like this father figure that basically they're there to, they have each other's back to protect each other. She's kind of a little bit like shy, and she has this like, she was like she basically was born to make some sort of heavy impact. Like she has this like thing to her. I forgot what it is. I don't know if it was like her DNA or her blood or whatever, that basically could be used to like find a cure. But obviously they never do that because she would have to like die for that. But anyways, your character, your video game character would have some sort of like plot armor like that. Like your character, and she's also like a freaking badass, and she is a fighter. She is also very sassy and likes to talk. She's got a sassy tone to hers, and like low-key, so does she. So there could be something about like your wit. You could be very witty, pile 1. And then we have Claire, I think her name is. She's from Life is Strange, and she's got this like very adventurous. She's got these crazy stories. Like you're never running out of stories, pile 1. I think that's like the number one thing for you, is that your character would be the greatest storyteller of all time, and so would your game. Like, your game would have such a like cohesive, it would be 10 out of 10 stars rated, and maybe a little bit X-rated too. So you could be someone that would like decorate your, you could be very artistic, decorate your hair, have these like interesting jewelry, like a armless leather jacket or something, like just a very unique look. I'm also kind of getting maybe your character would be a lesbian, because we have two lesbian characters back to back. So that could be a small message for some of you. And then we have Jinx, and I think, oh, we have a couple. Okay, so we have Jinx. I was also kind of getting like, again, like, your character could be like, she's also with guns. She shoots with guns. There could be something about like creating these crazy like inventions, crazy weapons. I think Jinx is a character that is pretty traumatized and also definitely very misunderstood. I think she's got a lot of trauma, and that's why she turns to be like crazy. That's her whole backstory. I think pile 1, you could be, for some of you, could be somebody that maybe is still doing some mental work. Like, a message from the universe at this moment could be something about like needing to work through traumas. But besides that, your character could definitely be somebody that is a little bit crazy, like on a more positive note. Like, they're just like very adventurous, very fun, goofy. Maybe also really likes to romanticize life, and like, you know how like Jinx, like, she kind of gives me like Harley Quinn vibes, and she doesn't really like to, she like, I think she pictures like rainbows and sunshines when she's like shooting people or something. So I don't know if that's her or if that's Harley Quinn, but it's giving me that vibe. Like, that would be something that going on there. And then again, like, we got Rosalina. So definitely princess, beautiful princess. Like, you would be like the queen that's just like royalty, leading a castle, leading a whole town. Like, that's hard fucking work. And you got these little like minions, and like, you're just like made for, you know, you're like made to lead. It's definitely, and also to be like this beautiful, you know, bubbly, adventurous story, like have great stories. For some of you, you guys, your video game character could be like a Roblox character in Dress to Impress. And we also got Ada Wong from Resident Evil 4. Again, a sexy, beautiful queen with a lot of sass. She's also a little bit of a trickster. She's a little bit mischievous. She definitely leads Leon the wrong way and deceives him. So there could be something about that. Like, that would be something your character does. But she does it because she is trying to, like, she's not like a villain, but she's also not like a hero. So it's giving that. And then she's here to dress to impress. She's fighting elegantly. She's fighting in high heels. So there could be something about that. And then again, like, just badass fighter. This is from Street Fighter. And sexy outfit she's got on. So, and she's fighting in heels. So that's what I have for you, Pile 1. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a like, consider subscribing. Let me know how I did in the comments. And I'll see you in one of my next ones. Bye! Hello, my beautiful Pile 2s. If you chose this card as well as this image, this will be your reading on what your video game character would be like, look like, and how would they act. So, I want to let you guys know the different ways you can help my channel. The biggest way is by checking out my Beacon AI tab. I have my 18 plus extendeds there, different ways you could donate to the channel through Amazon wishlist or Cash App. Those things I'm going to use all of that to support the channel. So I'd buy new decks and all that jazz. So to like have fun, exciting new things to have during the readings. And then I have words of affirmation shirts. The whole idea behind those shirts is about putting energy out so then you receive it. So example, you are lovable. You are showing people around you that they are lovable and they are shining brighter because of your energy, and that energy is reciprocated back to you. And that's the whole idea behind the words of affirmation shirts. And then I have personal readings, so if you want your own personal reading. Okay, so let's hop into your reading, pile 2. So pile 2. Today's reading is going to be unlike no other. We have 1 or 2 cards, oracles, and we mainly going to be doing Pinterest board to talk about who your video game character would be like. Know that not every message is going to resonate with you because it's going to be for other people in the reading. So take what resonates, leave the rest. Also, I'm going to try my best to focus on like more general messages, but sometimes there's just really, really specific messages that come out. So the first thing that I'm getting, so the first thing here, we got the Samaritan in reverse, we got the Seeker, and we got the Gambler. So pile 2, with your image, your thumbnail image first, what I'm getting is somebody who definitely stands out from the crowd. You're definitely somebody that maybe has never really fit in, but like that's the point. You know, it's like you're not supposed to fit in. That's what makes you unique. And that could be something that maybe you've been recently accepting, but your video game character, you would be like the protagonist that everybody can relate to in a way. And in a way of like feeling like they don't fit in. There could be something about like you being a character. Your video game character would be somebody that is a gambler, somebody who takes like a lot of risks, is definitely a risk taker. They could be somebody who is a Samaritan, somebody who's very caring of others, somebody who puts in the effort to care for others, to appreciate others, to, you know, look out for others, to speak up for others. You're like somebody that's not gonna like back down when, you know, like let's say when you're like someone that maybe like your video game character has grown this story plot line in the beginning of the video game to where like maybe your character was like bullied, right? And then from that point on, they like never were afraid, from the very beginning, were never afraid to be unique and stick up for other people who also get bullied. So there could be something about like you're somebody who would straight up speak up and be like, if you want to like tussle, we'll tussle. Like, I don't know, it's giving like, I'll fight you. I'll fight you. So you could be also somebody that, maybe struggled with believing in other people and trusting others. Your video game character, like the progression of your video game, it's giving like they struggled with trust in the beginning, but then slowly but surely opens their heart up to love and to others. Because with this Samaritan thing, it's kind of giving like redefining your capacity to help those around you. It's also kind of like your thumbnail is kind of giving like, she's giving like introverted, like I'm not interested in having a conversation with you. Slash like just like standoffish. So there could be something about like your character is really mysterious, first off, but slowly but surely starts to allow others in. Like they're not afraid to like definitely be their own individual because like that's your video game character has been like that from the very jump. I think your video game character is kind of giving it's giving fighter, like it's giving like, but also like high school like drama, Like it feels like the plot of your video game could be like high school drama storyline, like intense like high school or college type related video game, but also could be like a character in like Street Fighter or something, or maybe even I am BV or whatever the hell that game is, because that's straight up where this image is from. Um, I'm also for some reason got like a little bit of a dancer vibes in the background, like she looks like she's like, yeah, like I'm tough, like I'm tough, and then like you know how IMBV has like, I think they have a section where you can play the video game of like dancing and you're on like the dance pad and they got the arrows like pointing in different directions. I feel like she would bust a move. Um, so another thing about your character, your video game character pile two, they would be someone that's really willing to follow their intuition even when others doubt them. Like even if they're blind, like the seer, they still are able to see the future. So your thing, pile two, is you could be somebody who's very adventurous when it comes to pursuing their hobbies, their creativity. Maybe there's something specific where you are following your intuition, even though others may doubt you or others may not have the courage to follow in your footsteps. You're somebody that's like, you know, I don't know which direction I'm going and it's a little bit cloudy, but that's when you know you're going the right ways because you are carving your own path. You are carving your own path. So like your video game character would be somebody that is like no other. They created such a unique path that is unlike no other. And then they're well known for that. Like seriously really well known. And then the Samaritan is like, it's kind of giving like it's giving like redemption arc. It's giving like underdog. It's giving like maybe even a little bit fueled by our ego, focusing a little bit more on like, we don't need to, the fact that we think we're the underdog is already showing that we think we're less than. So there could be something about that. But anyways, we're focusing on who your video game character is. Your video game character could be somebody who's like a tattoo artist. It's giving like, maybe the game would be like just drawing designs of like tattoos. Or I'm also getting like, it's just giving like a like drama game, like a lover drama. It's giving like lovers, enemies to lovers vibe. Like it's kind of giving like your video game would be like a romance like drama. I'm also kind of getting like, there's Medusa here, and Medusa, when you make eye contact with them, it's like they turn to stone. So there could be something about your video game's character, maybe their superpower would be like being able to maybe x-ray vision or something, or also being able to turn people to stone, or like maybe diffuse people, or maybe like stop people in their tracks. Maybe your superpower will also be like the ability to like being extremely lucky, and again like being able to see the future when others can't. Like there would be like a mystic, like there would be like a huge fog surrounding the town, and you'd be somebody who has like fucking laser vision that's able to see through the fog and be like, oh yeah, we gotta go this way. Everyone's like, how the hell, what do you mean, how do you know? They're like, I'm telling you, it's this way. And then you lead everybody to safety. So you could definitely be like a leader. It's giving like this high school falls into like a zombie apocalypse situation. Everyone's trapped in like the high school, and you're like the one that's like steps up and be like, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Like you step up and you lead people to like safety or something. That's what I'm really getting with you, Pile 2. So let's look at your, but definitely getting like a group setting. There's something about like friends. Maybe for some of you, it could be you guys have been really isolating and you struggle with that. Or there could be something about like Maybe you have a really great set of friends, maybe even maybe a sister, maybe a sibling that you guys have like a great relationship with, or maybe you're trying to be more considerate of them. And the reason why I say this is because the first image we got for you is the powder, powder, Powerpuff Girls. So, and you're giving like this Powerpuff, the one in the green. Um, you're like the one that likes to protect the friend group. You're the one that like watches out for the other girls or your buddies. And I think in the anime or not anime, the cartoon, um they all make their own little like personality. Like they all have their own differences and personalities, yet they all come together and make this like perfect union. I think with you, you'd be like a crime fighter and somebody who fights for justice. Um, I'm getting like for some of you maybe Libra vibes. Like your character could fly. I'm getting like floating, flying. I'm also kind of getting like sassy, talkative yapper, like somebody who is just like has like such a cute style and like cute little decorations in their little hair with the little but look at the little freaking taffy or the Twizzler wrapped up in her hair. How cute. Um maybe some of you your characters would be really freaking cute and adorable. Like your character would just be like such an adorable cutie pie, but then like your personality though is like very very sassy. Like she looks cute, but she can kill, you know? And then we got this character. Guys, I genuinely don't know where she's from. I think her name's like Avery or Ave something with an A. I don't know where she's from. I forgot like what that whole game is about, but she fights um she's the protagonist of the game, I believe. I wish I knew more about this. I probably should have done my research. But she's giving like I think it's in like a desert and she's like if you notice her outfit is very like Native American. So that could be maybe what your character would look like. Or something about that. And then we have Harley Quinn came in. It says clown about town. So for you, there could be something about like, again, with like this friend group here. You could have a really beautiful friend group. Maybe your video game character would be somebody who has a lot of friends and like, it would be like you would, I'm thinking of like when you're walking around in the high school or like the college, there's like NPCs standing around and like waving to you and you're like, oh hi, I have to go do this and this, or like you're just like very, you could be somebody who your video game character would be somebody who's very friendly. um I'm also kind of getting like maybe a little bit goofy, a little bit silly, a little bit crazy. Harley Quinn, it says clown about town, clowning about town. Maybe clowning on people, maybe like making jokes. I like how the cat's like giving freaking Catwoman the dead eyes. Like she's like, cat's like, are you gonna feed me that or what? Your side character could be like either a cat or a dog, or we even have like a badger or like beaver over here. And then there's rainbow cake, so there could be something. Um, your video game character could be somebody who is like, for some of you, could be somebody who has like military, like we got tanks here, like somebody who just have like this freaking huge tank. Maybe even their dog would be like their fighter. But I'm also kind of getting like maybe somebody who's very nimble, very flexible, be a crime stopper, with their feet and hands. Like they're just like a fighter with their feet and hands. And then we got this girl from, oh my god, what's that one game? Again, guys, I don't know. I forgot what game this is. She, from what I remember, she's got this humongous robot that like fights for her. There could be something about, it's giving, what's that robot Disney movie? Big Hero 6. So, you know how like the boy had like a brother that created a robot to protect them? It's like this robot is kind, sweet, loving, but like just likes to protect the younger brother. So there could be something about like your video game character would be like maybe the inventor, like you'd be the older brother that would like invent these things to protect others, protect your like friends and all that, or like you'd be like your video game would be about like setting up a fort and like protecting like the city or like the school or something. Or it would be you create like you would be the robot that protects like these other people. Or maybe you would be the one that like drives the, you know, like, cause I think she sits in this thing and like she like shoots with it. And then we have this character. She's from Silent Hill, or not Silent Hill. She's from Resident Evil: The Village, and she's one of the daughters. She's got 3 sisters, so there could definitely be something about like sisterhood. Maybe your video game would be about sisters, and 3. There could be something significant about the number 3 to you. And she like is a vampire. She like feeds on blood, and specifically men's blood, which is like one of the things that she says in the game is like, oh, she's like, oh, I love the taste of like man's blood or whatever. So, and she also has bugs that like protect her. So there could be something about like you'd be somebody that maybe a man eater for some of you. You could also be like a villain-esque character for some, and you'd be somebody that maybe for some of you would be like a vampire. Yeah, take that how it resonates. Then we got this little duo here. So again, they're in these like elastic leotards and they like fight with their hands and feet, I think. So again, there could be something about like you maybe being very flexible, and like maybe even your game character would be somebody that is very flexible, can like kick really high, kick with their feet, and just like beat people up with like just only their hands and feet. Yeah, that's what I have with that. And then we have Resident Evil 2. She is part of it. I forgot what her name is. But what can I say about her? She's very independent. She is another protagonist that fights along like on a different storyline, I think. Oh, this actually might be Resident Evil 3 now that I think about it, because I don't think she was a part of Resident Evil 2. I think that was somebody else. But anyways, she's like defending like Raccoon City, and she's got her pistol and she's fighting this big bad guy. So There could be something about you being definitely a defender of your territory, a defender of like some sort of area, because she's also like defending the mansion that she lives. Like she's like keeping it, protecting it. So I'm definitely getting like your video game character would be like the protector. The you would be like an offense character. You'd be like the fighter, the one in like the front lines. You know how they have like in solo leveling, they have like the mages in the back, and they're like more of like the long range. You're like the type of person would be like up front, like fighting. I also love this image. There could be something about like being super flexible. Your video game character could be maybe like a mad scientist. I'm getting like maybe you're like a crafter, some sort of like maybe mechanic, maybe engineer, some sort of like crafter. Like she's giving like a mad scientist vibe. Also kind of like Hellraiser, and I think he's a vampire. So like it's definitely giving vampire-esque. She's shooting two guns, and she's got like a bunch of like. Some of you maybe have came from Pile One, and there could be like resemblance with your game character. Again, is like this like badass chick that's sexy and muscular and nimble, elegant when she fights, and maybe is like somebody who's very accurate with like shooting guns. Like you're somebody that your video game character would be somebody that's like get a lot of headshots and like be somebody who's very accurate at hitting targets. Also, you could be somebody that's like this could be like maybe what you look like or what your video game character would look like. Like she looks like she's done her eye makeup before she, steps into uh defending Raccoon City. And then we have this character which is from Beetlejuice. So you could be like somebody that you're like what's that one girl? It's giving like Wednesday from your video game character could be like a character that looks like Wednesday. Or also that other girl, the new Beetlejuice, the girl that plays Wednesday, she plays the younger girl in that movie, the new movie Beetlejuice. You would also play like the daughter, the like maybe the um it's not a phase mom, like daughter that has like these like they're the one that sees like actually what's going on, and they try to get like the family to know like, hey, like guess what, look, like see. Also it's kind of getting like this is kind of like her eyes are popping out of her mouth. It's giving like a yapper. It's giving somebody who's like yap yap yap. There could be something about maybe screaming, yelling, or maybe your voice would be where your superpower lies, is like being able to shatter glass. um or there could be also something about like um just really trying to like get people, like smack people up and be like, pay attention to what I'm saying, listen to me. um it's also giving that one character from the Quarry, that one guy, let me look him up. He's like the one character that has like freaking his head on his shoulders, but everyone's like not really listening to him for some reason. Oh, perfect. He's the first one that popped up. So this game, have you ever seen this guy? It's a Quarry, and it's like about like fate and stuff. There could be something about your video game character, that I'm kind of getting like has a lot of faith in themselves and like their abilities. So that's what I have for you, Pile 2. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a like, consider subscribing, let me know how I did in the comments, and I'll see you in one of my next ones. Hello, my beautiful Pile 3s. If you chose this image, as well as the Raven card, this will be your reading about what would your video game character be like? So, your video game character, I feel like, would have like the eyes that would be able to see around town or like see everything happening at once. Like maybe your superpower would be like the birds, or like the way, like, you know how like in those games, like there's like a bunch of birds that fly to this woman and then it makes her like disappear into the sky, and there's like tons of birds always like looking around, like being like the security cameras of the town. There could be something about like if you were in a video game, your superpower would be like being able to like always know what's going on, or like what's going on behind the scenes. I'm also getting we got Liberator. It says light attributes, freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thoughts and patterns. We have Saboteur. It says highlighting your fears of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. We got this, and it says place material considerations and security above self-empowerment. Wow. Highlight your fears of self-empowerment. Place material considerations and security above self-empowerment. Interesting. Shapeshifter, light attributes, skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. There's a lot about seeing, Pile 3. I think there could also be something about your eyes. You would have like these like really light eyes. Like your character would have like these like laser eyes, or just something about your eyes would light up. Your video game character could be somebody that like is a shapeshifter. Like you may have tons of different like characters and customizations. Like there's so many different ways that they customize your character. It's giving like Sims a bit. We also have Liberator, Saboteur, and Prostitute. Freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thoughts and power. For some of you, I'm kind of getting like your video game character could be like, I'm getting like GTA like stripper. Obviously that's not gonna fit for everyone. For some of you, that could be what that is, but it's also like this, it like then shape shifts into this like, I don't know, like it's giving like shapeshifter, like, you know how I said how she would like transform into like these birds and the birds would fly away? Or this bird turns into like this beautiful woman. There's something about like, you could be somebody who is constantly changing. Like you're like that badass, like your video game character would be this badass woman that it's like the story of her life, of her like transforming into the many different versions of herself. Like maybe you're somebody who's very adaptable to change, or you're constantly changing. So like your video game character would be somebody who's constantly changing, and like developing through those different like life lessons through life. And I think something in particular, um, your video game character's like weakness could fall into the habit of putting money, validation, or different like outside things above her own self empowerment. So, because we got that in multiple different cards, and it could be something. Oh, it could be something about like believing that money's more important than your well-being. So take that if it resonates. So I'm getting like maybe like seducer. Your game would be about like dancing and seducing. That may not be for everybody. The other ones of you, the other people here, would be freeing yourself of those things and becoming very in tuned in your own higher wisdom. Because ravens are really freaking smart. Like, they're so smart. So you could be somebody who's very intelligent. Like, you may play dumb, but you're not dumb. Like, I'm really getting, like, Lucy vibes. Like, you know how she, like, is... She's, like, a weapon where she's able to seduce these like powerful men and then like rob them of their money. She doesn't actually do that in the movie, but in the movie, like she's finding her ways to like wiggle her way in to this secret place that she's not supposed to be. It's also giving, you know, Jennifer Lawrence's X-Man character that she played, where it's that blue woman, that she's like the shapeshifter. She has like these green eyes, this red hair, and she literally shapeshifts into all these like sexy women or like just characters that she uses to like manipulate these people into getting what it is that she wants. Like, I feel like your character would be like this badass like lady that is not afraid to get what they want or what they're looking for. And like it's not like it's giving like maybe um it's giving badass. It's also giving like not it's giving like uh it's not villain, but it's not hero. What is it? It's like anti-villain, or what the frick is it called? Like a vigilante or something. It's giving vigilante. I'm just getting like give me all your money. Like it's literally giving give me all your money. Your character could be somebody that's like really wealthy. Your video game character would be somebody that like literally takes a shower in money. But then maybe your character also progresses to realizing that money isn't everything. Like at the end, maybe that's like the storyline, you know, the final message. If your video game wants to have meaning, um, it's just really giving like GTA, like buy cars, you know, drive around like a crazy person, hijack planes, just like crazy shenanigans, chaos ensued, just freaking Yeah, just craziness. So let's see what your character. I think you're also really funny, Pile 3, because we got a lot of crazy video, like photos. So this first character that came in is from Bleach. I can barely see her. I'm just gonna have the images pop up. But she has like a very curvy body, so your character could be somebody that's like constantly changing. Maybe you have like a really curvy body. She's from Bleach. Don't know. I'm not sure, really sure, but you could tell just by her posing that she's like, oh my god, come save me, and then like they're like, oh, come save you, miss, and then you just like kick them upside the head, and then be like, you thought I needed you. It's kind of given that. Um, but also, I'm not really sure about her character. She might just be like the damsel in distress. Um, I don't know. If you guys, maybe, you know what? Let me just look her up. Stop being a. Just assuming. Bleach character. Woman. Black hair. I think I found her. It says the hottest. It said 17 of the hottest characters from Bleach. So your video game character would definitely be very hot. Ow, ow, ow. It says, let me see, is a slender yet athletically fit woman of curvaceous frame and average height. She has dark. Wait, no, that's not her. Sorry for party rocking. Who this woman? That ain't her. That's not who I'm looking for, you dummy. You mother trucker. Who this? Who this? I think her name is Nemu. Nemo! Who? She's got an enhanced artificial soul. Maybe that's like your video game characters, like, got a freaking robot soul. We got 5'6", weight 114. Bruh, what you mean? That makes no fucking sense. Whoever wrote that shit down is an idiot. Can we just... Who the hell it is? Please. Was a former lieutenant of the 12th Division, serving upper... Yeah, it's giving, like, lieutenant also. Like, she's part of the military. She's like, Hades! And then she's like, I'll fuck your shit up. Low-key. Not low-key, high-key. It says, she is a young woman with a slender, well-endowed figure and green eyes. Her black hair is tied up in a long braid, slightly parted bangs. She wears shorts, black kimono that reaches mid-thigh, and white blank underneath. The sleeves of her kimono are not as wide. I don't give a frick. Tell me who your personality. Because she was abused and mistreated in every possible way by her father, Nemu is very shy, withdrawn, introverted individual, prefers to stay silent in her captain's presence. Her expression is almost always melancholic, which is like, I think, like passive. It is rare to see her smile. Oh no, it means sad. It's rare for her to smile or show any real joy in her distinctive green eyes. Despite Mary's seeming lack of care for her existence, she's very loyal to him, willing to badly injure herself just to give him an advantage in battle. Unlike her father, however, she seems to have compassion for others, saving Yuki's life as thanks for not killing her dad. Being the daughter of blank, she shares several similar traits: the food preference, um, disliking onion, likes spiked fish, shares interest in human experience, blah blah blah. Interesting. It's giving like military drill sergeant, maybe somebody who doesn't really show emotion, maybe experienced a lot of, your character has like a backstory of like being mistreated. Um, and this character, she's like somebody that I think is overly the top nice and also like sad, but like what I'm getting, like emotionally sad. But what I'm getting is also like overall though, I think what this is trying to say is that she like doesn't let this hold her back from being a beautiful, kind person. I think for some of you, there could be some of you that like your video game character would be somebody who's very cold and maybe emotionless because of still being clouded by trauma. But for the rest of you, there could be something about like really working through that and still trying to find kindness and love and compassion, and healing that. So yeah, I'm getting like just wait a minute. I'm getting like somebody who's like your video game character is somebody who prioritizes themselves, somebody who doesn't like people please. Like I'm kind of getting this badass chick, like this girl who's like a badass, like crime fighter. She's beaten up like people left and right. A fighter. Another thing I'm getting is the man from Witcher. I think this is from Witcher. I could be wrong though, so please correct me. But he's got this scar. He's got, like this backstory. He's entering like this village. People look at him like, they're scared. They're kind of like, oh, who's this outsider? But he ends up being like this like kind soul. Maybe a little bit having a backstory of pain. Like for example, where'd you get these scars? Like the Joker, but not letting that stop him from being like, or at least trying to be like the hero of his story. I also was getting Coraline, and it's so interesting, Pile 3, because I love Coraline, and I feel like um in the movie Coraline, she has like kind of like a rough life. She moves and then her parents are like um neglectful. They're not really present in her life, and so then she starts to romanticize this new life. She enters this portal of these people telling her everything that she wants to hear, and literally telling her everything that she wants to hear, and promising her all these things. But what she has to do is like basically, she ends up, she has a choice of being like, okay, well, but you have to do this one thing, which is um something that Coraline's not really willing to settle with. Like it's kind of like she had to give up her soul in order to partake with that. Um and she just felt in her soul and in her gut that it just wasn't right, and turns out it wasn't. It was like, a delusion. So there could be something about like maybe prioritizing maybe money over like your morals. For some of you could be something. um Obviously that doesn't have to be for everybody, but there could be something about that. So there could be like your video game character would be like the protagonist of being like this child that like saves other children. Like there could be something about that. Also there could be something about like I'm getting like your video game character could be like a role model that children look up to. I'm also kind of getting like your video game character could be somebody that is very good at like seeing through when things are like trusting your intuition on things that you feel like are um, too good to be true. But like, I don't want to say that because like sometimes things are good, you know, and like for us to automatically assume that things are too good to be true is because we're traumatized and we can't trust things. We can't even trust ourselves. So there could be something about that. Um, your character could be like finding ways to trust again. So then we have this Saw character came out. And I was kind of getting like pile 3's funny. Pile 3 is funny. Um you could be a little bit twisted. You could be a little bit you could be a little bit revengeful. Your video game character could be like somebody who your video game character would be like maybe you would have like a puppet, like a little miniature version of yourself. Maybe your video game character would have like a baby or something. There could be something about a child. Um maybe your video game would have like a little bit of element of horror. Like there could be something about horror. It'd be like a thriller or like a what is it called? Those like thriller flicks or horror flicks. Like one of those like cheesy like scream movies. That's what I'm kind of getting for some of you. There could also be something about having like puzzles and stuff. Like maybe your power, your video game character would be like somebody who's really good at solving puzzles and putting the pieces together. Like I'm kind of getting like maybe for some of you, besides all that other stuff we were getting, you would be like maybe like an FBI agent where she's solving a crime. She's on the case. She's solving a crime. And it's giving like one of those like video games about mystery, murder. Um, just like fun and but also like mysterious. And your character is like you pull up to like the police station. You're like, where is he? Where is he? You pull out the case. You're able to solve the crime in like a split second. You're so good at your work, and people look up to you. You're like the leader. You know, like Lieutenant LaGuerta from Dexter. You know how she's like the lieutenant. Like she got her place from working really hard. You're giving like great crime stopper, crime fighter, investigator, detective, um, and you were like the leader of the group. Then this came out. It's giving Chucky, but also it, and like it's about like it's like a horror movie about I don't even know what the fuck this movie is about, to be honest. I watched it like several times. I still couldn't tell you what it's about. I think he basically lurks on people's fears, like biggest fears. And didn't it talk about fears, working through fears? It said highlight your fears of self-empowerment and change and the changes it would bring to your life. Highlight your fears of self-empowerment. So what are you afraid of? There could be something about your fears coming out, pile 3. Because I think that's what that movie's oh, for a second I thought he was sticking of the middle finger. Um, your character would be like kind of like a jokester, but I think also I think you again would be really funny. And I think there could be something about your fears, like just like any protagonist, they have things to work through, and they, you know how like they in like movies or whatever, we get to see their backstory, we get to understand the character more, we get to see the character as a human being and like relate to them. Like you are somebody that's super relatable, or somebody like you have like that story to you that a lot of people can find compassion for and love, um, and understanding and compassion. I think there's something about your fears. Um, Fears of self empowerment. Maybe your character, like your video game character, has a lot of courage and confidence to find self empowerment and take that leadership role and like taking what is theirs. And that could be something in particular for you, pile 3, that's like maybe you're working towards that. I don't know. But I'm definitely getting like very confident. And then we got Woody. Woody came out. There could be something about gunslinging cowboy. For some of you, maybe like being a cowboy, and Woody. Let me look into. He's like, but we're Andy's toys. Woody's plot line. So Woody is a vintage pull-string cowboy doll. He is Andy's toys, the leader of the household toys. After Andy leaves college, Woody is donated to Bonnie. Later becomes a ownerless antique dedicated to helping lost toys find new owners. Oh my god. For some of you, oh my god. That could be something for you, is like maybe some of you guys could like help children in some way. Maybe you guys are like a child protective services or something, like you work to like defend children or like help them find like better homes, because that's interesting. It says he becomes jealous of Buzz Lightyear, a new toy, and tries to get rid of him. This leads to an adventure where Woody and Buzz become unlikely allies, facing dangers and ultimately learning about friendship and teamwork. So Woody, Woody is adventurous. He then, despite his jealousy towards Buzz, he like saves him. There could be something about like your plot line for your video game character, pile 3, being like somebody who's very hyper independent, somebody who like really likes to work alone and not work with others, but then you're like forced to work with others, and then you learn the beautiful lesson of friendship and teamwork and putting that ego aside and like loving your neighbor or something. It's like something about like love thy neighbor. So there could be something about like, I think you're really funny. I think you're very goofy. I think your video game character would be just like you. Like I feel like your video game character, as the person's playing as you in your video game, would have these quirky little lines or like stupid little messages that pop up that just make you even more likable and unique as like a character. And again, like I'm getting crime fighter, like somebody that protects against like bad individuals. Because like in this, also they mentioned Sid, which is like it said a toy abuser. So there could be something about like you protecting kids. Maybe you are in some way protecting kids. And that's like a big superpower you have. And then we have this badass queen. She's kind of giving Melania from Elden Ring. She's like one of the most powerful bosses. And she really gives the name to being powerful. Like she's straight up like crazy powerful. So there could be something about you having this ultimate power and unstoppable like power inside of you. Like you have this crazy power pile 3. And it's all these different like characters. It's all these different characters. There could be many different versions of you, pile 3. Maybe the whole video game would be like all showing all the different phases of the different phases you went through in life. And then we have her again. She came in pile 1, I think. And she's from Mortal Kombat, I think. Or Street Fighter. I'm not sure. I think she's from Mortal Kombat. And she's a pretty badass I don't want to sound fucking stupid, but I think martial arts fighter. And then we have Leon Kennedy. Like Leon Kennedy, like it's really giving Leon Kennedy vibes too. Like he takes this role of being this crime fighter. Like he investigates, he solves these puzzles, these riddles, and he's always the last one standing. He's good at his job, he's great at it. And I think like your video game character would not only be this very attractive individual, and you're very customizable, and you got these quirky little one-liners, but you're also like such a decent, loving, compassionate individual at heart. And he may look tough, but you can tell he's a softie inside. And like he would be somebody that would like protect children. I'm also getting like this cowboy-esque. Some of you maybe have a cowboy hat, and you'd use like I'm standing on my chair right now because my legs are hurting. There could be something about being like a cowboy. Cowboy. I'm a cowboy. Maybe in the Wild Wild West, you like fight the freaking the I'm trying to think of like the right word. What are those freaking who would be the enemy? Who's always the enemy when you're a cowboy? Other cowboys? I don't know. And then she's also another badass independent lady. She's like in this armor. She's also the leader. I forgot if she's the villain or not. I think she might be. So that's interesting. And then we have Zelda. She's like the dark side Zelda. And it could be something about like you start off like maybe as the villain, but then you develop into this like protagonist later on. It's kind of giving like when Spider-Man goes like dark or like he becomes evil for like a movie. It's kind of giving that. Let me look up a. Let me show you something. Let me show you something really important. This is what I needed to show you. That didn't help. I tried cleaning my phone like it was my phone that's dirty, but it's a freaking camera. Then we have Sonic, or not Sonic, fucking Shadow. There could be something about shadow work, shadow self. Maybe it's like a character arc of your game would be like shadow work. I also got Silent Hill. So there could be something about that game, Silent Hill, that's so significant to you or just like really resonates. Or your video game could be like a horror game where there's something about like it's like a psychological horror game. So there could be something about it's like all messages about like your mental health or like something like that. And in the game we have there's like things about like sexuality and like traumas and like is his name Ethan? Shit, what the Silent Hill main character name? James. James? James? So James basically goes like in like the whole like explanation of the game is talking about James' mental health and like what he's like fighting with his shadow self. So there could be something about that with you, Pile 3, that I think is so interesting and I love that shit. I love that. So there could be something about like your video game character would be like a character that finds their like you know at there's like a good ending for James too, and he like finally like lets go and like that's his whole video game, and like you look back at it like this type of game impacts people's lives. So there could be something about that for you, Pile 3. But and then we have Deadpool, crime fighter. He's also a little bit crazy. He's also not really a hero, not really a villain. But he's super funny and he's a goof and somehow always ends up fighting the bad guys. So I think there's something about like, hey yo, what the hell it is? Oh no, I'm just tripping. Um, I'm trying to think of like what. Let me look up what Deadpool is about. It's just it helps me so much when I look up Deadpool plotline. Deadpool storyline follows Wade Wilson, a mercenary who, after being diagnosed with cancer, undergoes an experimental treatment that grants him accelerating healing, and a unique sense of humor. His treatment also leaves him scarred, disfigured, and seeking revenge. Wade becomes Deadpool, aiming to find the man responsible for his appearance. Interesting. So there could be something about like revenge, and like coming to terms with not finding revenge. It also says he meets Vanessa and falls in love. Life is idyllic until one day he's diagnosed with cancer. So that's what I have with that. He's like, who did it to me? There could be something about like your video game character would be somebody who's a mercenary, somebody who is a crime fighter, somebody who maybe is also a little bit revengeful. So that is what I have for you, Pile 3. I hope that was entertaining. I loved doing it and I want to get better with it. Maybe we could do another one that's like this again if you guys liked it. I had a lot of fun filming. It was also, I felt like it was super creative. So let me know how you guys think. And I'll see you in one of my next ones. Bye!